Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Andrew Montesi, a new face and a new accent for Heckham World. I've recently joined the team as Head of Growth and Content. Now we are entering into a new era for Heckham World, and while there's going to be lots of new and fun initiatives, sadly the great man himself, Shannon Hicks, will be leaving us behind. But we're not going to let him go until I take the opportunity to throw a few questions his way. But before we do that, a quick message from our sponsor.
Liberty Reverse wants to help you grow your reverse mortgage business with our proprietary Equity IQ product suite. Equity IQ gives your borrowers access to more funds, lowers their upfront costs, and expands eligibility for home purchases. Learn more at partners.libertyreversemortgage.com today. This ad is intended for mortgage professionals only and is not a consumer solicitation. PHH Mortgage, doing business as Liberty Reverse Mortgage, is an equal housing lender. NMLS number 2726.
All right, Shannon, first of all, how does it feel to be stepping away from Heckham World after all these years?
Thank you, Andrew. It's a mix of excitement and gratitude. First of all, I'll begin with gratitude to each and every one of our listeners and viewers and our sponsors. You've all really helped make this possible. And so this is almost 20 years in the making, at least for Heckham World, I would say about 17. And during that time, I had the privilege and the honor of educating reverse mortgage professionals across the nation and bring kind of a perspective maybe that you just wouldn't get by reading just the straight news. And so my focus has always been on trying to resonate with reverse mortgage professionals and lenders and not just say this is the news, but this is what it means to you. And so it's been a great honor, but I'm also excited to be stepping into my new role at High Tech Lending as Chief Content Officer. This will really allow me, Andrew, to leverage the skills and just the experiences I've had over those last 17 years in a broader context of traditional and reverse and equity-based lending, because it's a big market out there, and High Tech Lending is an extremely innovative company, really on the cutting edge of equity lending. So I'm really excited to be working with them soon.
Well, we're obviously sad to see you go, but just quietly, I do have a plan to bring you back on some level at some point, but we won't say too much about that. No promises. So Shannon, I mean, looking back, over those years that you talked about, how has the world of reverse mortgages and everything attached to it changed over that time?
How hasn't it changed? It's completely transformational, I believe, and reverse mortgage pros who have been in this space for a number of years can attest to this. The increase in consumer protections has really, I believe, helped kind of buoy the reputation of the reverse mortgage, which has always faced reputational challenges in the market. It's a counterintuitive loan, and then also we went through the big bank exits, around 2011, 12, 10, 11, 2010, 11, and 12. And then we also had some changes to the proceeds that were released. And if there's one thing that we've learned is that the home equity conversion mortgage, the federally insured reverse mortgage, I believe is the true Cadillac of an equity loan. And it was designed for retirees or for older homeowners. So thus, in essence, as our good friend Dan Holquist said in a recent column, it is the age-appropriate loan. So it's been great to watch that evolution and just see our industry also respond in kind. I'll never forget how adept our industry sales force responded to COVID. Everyone was used to sitting at the kitchen table, and our entire sales force learned how to sell over Zoom meetings, and Zoom became the rage, right? So I would say, if anything, to our viewers, pat yourself on the back for being highly adaptable and resilient.
Yeah, I guess further to that, you've obviously built incredible relationships over that journey and obviously worked with many, many successful people. Interested in your thoughts on what are the attributes of the most successful people that you have encountered in this industry?
Good question. There's a couple of traits. One, I just mentioned resilience, that dogged determination to really push through adversity and not let the market define you. in your work practice. I would say so. Resilience is definitely at the top of the list. But the top top producing originators that I know of, they have this approach. They're not selling alone. They're solving problems, which means they go in with an open mind and they ask the right questions the right way. And this is more of a collaborative approach with the homeowner. And they're not being sold to. They don't feel that, but they're feeling like someone is bringing a viable solution to them that works with their cash flow needs in retirement. So I would say it's really those who are open-minded and more solutions-oriented rather than just getting a loan in the pipeline. Those are those who I've really seen succeed. And I would add to that, too, those who have built relationships and spent years, sometimes up to a decade, in building referral relationships with outside professionals, whether it's realtors, financial advisors, attorneys of any sort. So that networking is very, very strong. And that's a great skill set I see in top producers.
So looking ahead, we've talked a little bit about the past. What do you see are the biggest opportunities for the industry and professionals and everyone connected to this space?
We have great opportunities right now. The housing market is quite interesting. It's not overheated and it's not frozen in place, which means we have trillions of dollars in equity locked in the bricks and mortar of homes all across the nation. And so for reverse mortgage professionals, that means, again, finding the right fit for the right person. And believe it or not, and some people are going to chuckle at this, but not everyone wants a reverse mortgage. Not every homeowner is cash poor or unable to make payments. So we've begun to see a real evolution of the product offerings in the equity space beyond reverse mortgages. So we have proprietary loans. We have loans that are similar to a home equity line of credit or HELOC. And this has really been an age of innovation, especially in the last 2 to 3 years. I would like to see that continue to expand because it gives us a broader suite of tools to meet the unique needs. Each homeowner is different. Each homeowner has a different financial situation and concerns. So I think this broader suite of products is really going to help us as an industry, assist more homeowners and to increase our sales as well.
Absolutely. And what about the challenges that you see around the corner?
It's sometimes we see them coming, sometimes we don't, especially with the government, right? So presently we have in the Federal Register what's called a request for information, and they're looking for public comment on a number of potential home equity conversion mortgage reforms. Some good, some not so good. And so when it comes to challenges, that could be one for us. But again, I just would say to our viewers, our longtime viewers, be diversified in your approach. In other words, don't build your business just on one thing. So make sure you're in the proprietary loan space as well as the home equity conversion mortgage, right? That way, if something changes in one particular segment of the market or one vertical, then you can also shift your emphasis to the other. So I think that's one of the challenges is the uncertainty of government regulation. The other, I would say, is just the continued battle of perception, because as I mentioned earlier, the reverse mortgage is a highly counterintuitive loan. And with that, there's some unfair associations that are being connected to the reverse mortgage that are just simply not true. And I think the best way we can overcome that is for each of our professionals, as they do each day, is to just have the highest standard of conduct and care and working with older homeowners. So we have so many great professionals in this industry who I would let do my grandmother's loan or my aunt's. In fact, one did for my aunt. So we have a great sales force out there. But those are some of the headwinds that we continue to face. Nothing really new.
Absolutely.
So, Andrew, I've worked with you for a number of years, and congratulations coming on board. It's great to see that. You have a good team as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm very excited, and it's been an absolute pleasure to kind of work with you guys over the last few years. Obviously, hopefully you and I will continue to have some form of relationship, but the whole team has been magnificent, and what you guys have done, and particularly you, Shannon, not just for customers, but for the whole industry, you should be very proud.
Well, thank you for that. One question I have for you is your team at Apiro, which Reverse Focus acquired, is really working in the AI space, which I know everyone talks about AI. But I guess the real question is, what are some of the practical applications you see AI playing when it comes to Reverse Focus and their product offerings, and for the 55 plus market?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think, I've been thinking about it a lot. Obviously, it's a very interesting market, the space that, these professionals find themselves in, where obviously there's always going to be threats, lots of disruption. We can't avoid that. Doesn't matter what industry we are in. Clients are going to be, more autonomous, but I actually think that, this over 55s space is a bit more protected than other, industries, other mortgage markets even. I think, we would all assume that maybe in some ways, maybe not, the over 55s might be a bit slower to adopt technology, but I think generally we can say that, you guys, this industry is serving a group that is going to be much more people conscious and people focused. And I think that professionals who actually double down on that space in terms of personal service, while leveraging AI and technology in the systems that, Reverse Focus offers to assist with workflows and assist with growth in the back end, there's going to be that beautiful balance. And I think the most successful professionals are not going to overcompensate and jump all into tech, but they're actually going to have this beautiful balance where they're going to create more capacity and more time to serve people really well on a face-to-face perspective. So I think it's actually a really exciting opportunity for the industry.
You make a great point that AI should not replace that personal touch of service. So important. And, with that sales engine CRM from Reverse Focus and their workflows, do you see AI playing a role in that as well in the future?
Absolutely. We're already talking to the team about it. Like, I think there is, going to be many, many ways that we can, help professionals leverage existing data that they've got to be able to, create even better automations and systems and services that serve their specific clients directly, but also learn from what we already know, what the incredible data that these professionals already have, to then find, identify, and secure even more of those ideal customers. So already we're looking at some new initiatives, but I think one of the big things we've been talking about early on is just our values as a company and where do we sit and what's most important. And again, we keep coming back to people, and even talking to Eric, who's obviously the CEO of the company. He's really excited about finding ways for us to create products that free up professionals to spend more time with people. And I think that's a fundamental value in terms of how we're thinking about the future.
That's well said, to spend more time with people. And that just, the AI is just going to be really a lever to increase your personal touch and service with customers.
Yeah, absolutely. And, not just customers. Like, I think one of the big things that I'm excited about is the opportunity to collaborate and create more partnerships between peers and other professionals in the industry. If I look back on my 20 years in marketing and comms and in this space, the most successful companies that I've worked with have been collaboration and partnership focus. And the drum that I'll continue to beat is one great partnership can completely transform your business. It can completely unlock everything. So again, we can use technology to free up capacity to build real authentic partnerships where both parties win. And hopefully we can help as many people do that.
Which brings me to the question, Andrew, because you being a native of Australia, but you're here in the States as well. What have you seen in terms of collaboration with mortgage professionals down under in Australia and in the US? Are there some correlations?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, at the end of the day, we are in the professional services game, and people are engaging with you because of your personal brand on some level, whether you're being intentional with building your personal brand or not. And I think the most successful professionals that I've dealt with in Australia are those that heavily invest in their personal brand, in their story and how they articulate their story. And then ultimately that then flows through to how they connect with the people that they're serving. So that's a really big one. And yeah, still have a couple of clients in Australia, even though I'm based in California now, who are in the mortgage space, who are doing really, really well because of this continued investment in building a personal brand in a really authentic way. Like, people can talk about personal brands and try and manufacture something that isn't authentically them, but our clients are very savvy. They can see straight through that. But those that are very clear about who they are and then are very intentional about how they put that out into the world tend to be really successful. And that's on the client side and that's on the relational side as well. And I think the other thing I would add in terms of partnerships is the most successful people that I've dealt with in the mortgage industry are those that are constantly looking for win-win. So it's the guys with the foresight who have the ability to obviously see their opportunity, but they can actually see, oh no, this is an opportunity for Shannon as well. And I can actually see that and present that to him, and it's a genuine win-win. So I know we talk about win-wins, but then, it actually takes work to go, no, I need to actually create something that not only, sets me up for success, but genuinely sets up the partner for success as well.
Well said. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do at Heckham World. And again, it's been an honor. I just want to tell all of our listeners and viewers, thank you so much. Much love to you. So you're always appreciated. And I just wearing a different hat in a new venture. So I'm looking forward to really working with the high tech team. But Andrew, so glad to have you heading up the ship at Heckham World.
Shannon, it's an absolute honor to step into those shoes of yours that are impossible to fill, but we'll do our best to continue to add a lot of value and engage the whole industry, bring everyone in. I think with the output that you've done over many years, I've been telling a lot of other professionals who I've been talking to, no one person can fill your shoes, sir. So we've had to pull in the entire industry to collaborate. And we're really grateful for you and thankful for everything that you've poured out over many years, not just for this company, but for the industry as a whole.
Well, thank you so much. Well, God bless.